Hi there everyone and welcome back to BRM Driving School. Hope you're doing alright. It's a bit of a pain that we're in lockdown again and driving lessons with your instructors are currently suspended. But that's not to say that we can't learn and can't get ready for our tests, so let's keep cracking on. So a video that I'm going to be doing today is it's something that appears quite regularly in the top 10 reasons why people fail their driving test each year. And when the DVSA first started publishing the top 10 reasons why people fail the driving test each year, initially this wasn't even in the top 10. But as the years have gone by, it's been climbing and climbing and climbing that list. And that is response to traffic lights, people failing on not responding to traffic lights correctly on their driving tests. You might be thinking, how's that possible? It's 3, possibly 4 lights if there's a filter. You just do what the light tells you. But, you know, it happens a lot more often than what you think. I put in a Freedom of Information request to the DVSA, they're the people that do the driving tests, and they got back to me earlier today and they said in the last year from 1st of April 2019 to 31st of March 2020, they said 64,252 people have been marked as getting 67,182 serious faults and 2,610 dangerous faults. So, you know, some of these people will have been failed multiple times on how they've responded to traffic lights. So yeah, it's getting a more common fault, and we're sort of going to go through what each light means on a traffic light, and how can you respond to the light better? How can you avoid potentially failing when you're doing something at a traffic light? So quite conveniently, I've got this traffic light behind me. It has been flicking through whilst been recording the video, so we'll go through each individual light that comes up. So if I just bring it over here, so starting on a red light, it sounds pretty simple. You must stop. There's a white line that goes across the road. You must be stationary behind that white line. You can't proceed any further until the light goes to green. So sounds pretty simple to start off with, but when we think about it, when we're driving on the road, red light or anything red on the road usually means you can't do something, or you need to be aware of something. You know, maybe you have to slow down, or in the case of a traffic light, you need to stop. So make sure if the light is red that you do stop behind the white line and that you don't actually go over it. I've had it before where a student was approaching the red light, and as he was slowing down, he actually went over the stop line. He knew the light was red the whole time, he just stopped over the line. That's enough to get you failed on a driving test. So yeah, we've got the red light to start with. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So now we've got a red and an amber light on. So I'll give you a few seconds. You know, what do you think that light means? And you know, for those of you that have said that light means stop, you're actually correct. When you've got a red and amber light, officially, if you're doing your theory test or you're doing your driving test, that still means stop. If you're anticipating the light and you know your light sequence, you'll know your next light will be green. So that's almost like a get ready to go, but you still must be behind that white line when this light comes on. So we'll go to our next light, which is the green light. Now this is where I actually think most people are failing when it comes to traffic lights. It'll be things like poor anticipation, poor planning, you know, making incorrect moves when they're driving. So, you know, what does a green light mean? If any of you said, oh, that means go, you'll actually be wrong. The green light means you can proceed if it's safe. That's important, proceed if it's safe. You know, a lot of people just see the light, they think, oh, that means go, and if they're turning right at a 3 or a 4-way set of traffic lights, they see it, they start moving, and they just start moving to the right, and then they have to be brought to a stop, or in some cases may even collide with the turning, with a vehicle as they're turning. The light doesn't mean you can go. If you're doing a manoeuvre, you still have the responsibility of making sure that manoeuvre is safe. You know, a way of thinking of it is, if you were turning right at a normal junction, you would look out for oncoming vehicles, you would give way to them if it's what you need to do, if it's not safe to proceed. Exactly the same thing when it comes to the traffic light. If you're turning right at a set of traffic lights, look for oncoming vehicles. You're crossing their path, you need to make sure it's safe to do so. But probably where I think it's happening most often is people poorly anticipating a green light. The light's been green for a while, they're getting closer, and then it begins to change to amber. And the person just doesn't react to it correctly. They might continue through when it was safe to stop, or they might slam on the brakes and stop when it was safer to go through. So you can see when that light changes, you've only got a split second to make a decision. But if you were prepared beforehand, you can make that decision a lot more easily. If I just go back to green. If the light is green, how long has that been green? The longer the light is green, the more likely it is probably going to start changing in its sequence back to red. So as you're approaching the traffic light, check your mirrors, know what's behind you. There might be someone close behind you, or there could be a big vehicle behind you. If that light changes, and you're a certain distance away from the light and you slam on the brakes, the vehicle behind you is too close, you're probably going to get rear-ended. So if you check your mirrors, and if you're a certain distance away, and this varies by how fast you're going and what distance you are away from the light, if that light begins to change, it might be safer to continue through the amber light. Providing the light hasn't gone red, you know, it might be safer for you to go through in some circumstances. Normally the light is amber for around about 3 seconds before it goes to red. So as you're approaching it, check your mirrors, know what's behind you. If you can safely stop when this light comes up, you must safely stop. But if you're quite close and there's a vehicle, or there's a vehicle close behind you, that light changes, it's not safe to stop, you're likely to be rear-ended. You can continue through providing the light has not gone back to red. So hopefully this little video here has been helpful to you. Help you understand traffic lights a little bit better. If you liked what you saw in the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're not going to miss out on any videos from me. If you've got anything you want to add to this video about traffic lights, maybe you are one of those people that might have you might have failed on response to traffic lights. Maybe leave a comment down below so people can see from your experience what exactly happened, and they can help avoid that on their driving tests in future. So yeah, just hit like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I'm going to have a few videos coming out during lockdown that will help you towards your driving test. So hit those buttons, leave a comment, and we'll see you all next time.